Welcome back everyone, Mudford here. Finally got the Porsche in the shop. Give you the quick walk around now. I did do a quick video on it when I first got this car, and it's been sitting outside on a trailer ever since. You can see it's been covered with leaves. I had a piece of styrofoam over this that was kind of keeping the water out. Still need a sunroof for it. This car is pretty unique, but did I make a mistake buying this? It's gonna go something like this. We're done here in the fender well. Got the 3800 drivetrain set up in here, and this fab work leaves a little bit to be desired, so I'm going to have to be redoing that. I'm going to concentrate on that first, getting the shock towers in, probably do some work on the cradle here as well. I don't like the way it's set up. So did I make a big mistake and bite off way more than I can chew before Rocky Mountain Race Week next year? It's going to be in June. Got all winter to work on this, but man, there's a lot of work to do. So first of all, this is going to go bye-bye. This is a naturally aspirated 3800 and transmission, so that's just not going to work for us. It's not going to be fast enough. So I've already got a new motor here on the stand for it. This is a supercharged. This is the Series 2 engine, not to be confused with the Series 3 supercharger, not the Series 5. So the Series 5 is a little bit better, and it's drive-by-wire, whereas this is the old cable. Well, I think we can make this pretty fast. This is pretty much exactly what I have in the Project Sleeper Buick Regal that I ran on Rocky Mountain Race Week last year. So if you want to go back and look, you can see some videos about that, and there's a whole playlist about that car. And that is also my backup vehicle if this doesn't work. I've done a little bit more work to that car and got it performing a little better, and we might even do a little bit more work and make it a lot better before race week if we have to, if this isn't looking good. So I'll put a link over here, maybe here, somewhere here in this region, and that'll be showing the 12-second Regal. But yeah, so we got this. This is going to get a full build. Probably connecting rods, definitely the biggest camshaft I can get for it. We're looking at porting the heads, porting the intake, porting the supercharger. It should make some serious horsepower if we do all that. And of course we'll get it swapped over to E85 and get it tuned for that. That's the motor. The transmission, we're going to do it's over here kind of buried, transaxle. It's going to get a better converter, hardened input shaft, hardened output shaft, gear ratio swap with a heavier chain, just about everything I can think of. We'll see if there's anything we can do with the spider gears and the differential part of it, because we have it in the back, so we don't need that. We could go full spool if we wanted. That'd probably be ideal. So that's what's coming up with this. You can see I have a mess of wiring here. That's great. I don't know how much of this we're going to use. There's some hanging down out of the dash. So we got to first get the cradle and the fab work done back here. Then we have to get that motor built and the transmission with it built and put in here. Then we have to fit it for a roll cage. We have to do wiring, plumbing. Probably going to put the battery back here somewhere on one of the sides, and then have the old switch for it right here. Doesn't really need any more weight in the back, but I think it'll just be simpler just to have it right here close to the engine. So we'll probably end up getting a different steering column. Maybe erase one from Motion if we can find, if they have something available that'll work. We're just gonna strip everything out of here we don't need. Once we figure out where the cage is gonna go, then we will build some sort of a doghouse for the engine. And then we got a whole lot of nothing up here. Probably gonna do, I'm hoping to get a manual steering rack for this. Just find something that I can fab up and make work. Or maybe find a manual Porsche one if they have one. I'm not real up on Porsche stuff. We're gonna see what the biggest radiator we can get that will fit in here. It's already got the electric fans, which is good. We'll see if they'll work or if this radiator will work good enough for us. We're gonna run hoses down along the tunnel. We're also gonna put a gas tank, like a fuel cell. We'll probably mount it over here. But yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. And I'm a little nervous that we won't be able to get it done in time. Really wanna run this. I'd love to get this done because I know my buddy that I met on race week last year, Joel, he brought a 3800 Grand Prix. He had a turbo feeding the supercharger. He was interviewed by 1320 and told a little bit about it. So if you go back to last year's race weeks, I don't remember which day it was, but it was race week 1.0, and he talked about that. Anyway, he's pulled that drivetrain out. He had transmission issues, and he is putting it in an S10, making a rear-wheel drive S10 with that engine setup he had, which was making quite a bit of horsepower. Should be a pretty cool little S10. So I'm hoping to have this done, and I'm hoping to race him there. Another thing I've got to do is figure out some different front suspension. Try to show you that real quick. Don't know how well it'll show up on the video. You can see there, it's pretty tight on the fender there. I even trimmed it, which I don't really like the way the previous owner trimmed it. That's gonna suck. Fixing that if we get to it. But I want the front end to set a little bit lower, so we're gonna have to come up with a little bit different strut or a different coil spring for the strut. Hopefully we can just do that and get that to drop a little bit. And then I would love to get a different wheel on the front. I do have the full set of Porsche wheels. I could sell them and hopefully find some skinnier wheels. Get some skinnier tires on the front. And then of course, for the rear, it's pretty much the same tire as my Regal. Same setup. I have these Toyos, which I'm not real impressed with. But my plan is to buy a set of Hoosiers, the same size, 255 50/16s, and put them on there. And hopefully it'll hook up. We'll see if we can get it done. Pretty ambitious, maybe crazy. So, first things first, I'm going to tear into these strut towers and try to get this all fabbed up. I might cut this out and just start all over. I know I'm going to cut a bunch of that out. Don't like that setup at all. Okay, this side looks a little bit better. I guess I shouldn't say better. It looks a little more done than the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up some of these welds, finish welding. I'm going to cut some pieces of metal to go in some of these places and hopefully get this side finished up. So I'm breaking out the trusty Hobart MVP. Not a professional welder, but this is decent enough welder. It does a pretty good job. So I really don't have any excuses if it looks bad. I think I can do a better job than the previous owner. But, oh yeah. I think I can do better than that, but we'll see. So I'm making some progress in here. I think the welds look a little better. I'll probably grind the ones down around here. I didn't get this one yet. Probably do some grinding on this and re-welding just to make it look better. I've got this fixed a lot. Just need to get a piece in across here, clean this up, weld a piece in here, and then a little piece up here, and then my biggest piece is going to be right in here. So I'm hoping to get one side done and all primered up. Then we're going to do the exact same thing over on the other side. And then I'll probably get this engine and trans out of here. So I'm doing some fitting for a piece of tin right here. Cut a piece of cardboard. It fits fairly good, but you can see it's not perfect. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to take it over, and I traced it out on a piece of steel, just a thin piece. But I made it a little bit bigger on these sides. And then I'm going to use the grinder and fit it in. See if we can get it to fit a little better. So I got my piece trimmed quite a bit now. We're going to call this good. Somewhat like that. I'm going to go ahead and get it welded in. Okay, I can't really get you in there to film very good while I'm welding. But we've got all this filled in on the back here. Most of the front. We just have to do this bottom piece, fill in that hole, and one little piece on the front, and we'll have this side done. So we got our template for this side. It's going to go right here. You can see there's a little notch there. Then we'll bend it a little bit to make it fit. Should work pretty good. It looks pretty close to the template. I think what we're going to do is just get it tacked in, and then like here, and then we'll work our way back. Use the hammer to push it back against the metal that we have on the fender, and then just keep running the bead down it. Should work pretty good. Starting to take shape. I'm just sort of bending it to the contour. We'll keep it going all the way down the front. Okay, there we go. It's all fit in, welded in. Just got to do some cleaning up, and we'll get it primed. Only piece left on this side is right there. We'll get that fitted right now and finish it up. Okay, got the piece cut. I'm going to weld it across the back on the car. Tack it in the middle here where it's touching. And then hopefully fold it over on both sides. Okay, that definitely isn't perfect, but it'll do. I'm going to try to clean these up a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer, get some primer on it, and then we'll call this side done. And I'm going to wrap this video up with that. I'll be doing the exact same thing on this side. I'm not going to bore you with that. So the next time you see me, both sides should be done, and we will be working on this subframe assembly, cleaning it up a little bit, fixing it, adding some beef to it.